get your bug spray out and get your climbing shoes on for this episode, because we're going to climb a few hills and extinct a few insects on this show. Yeah. Welcome to Street Scene Power Hour. This is episode 40. My name is Greg Roden, and we have guest host that's going to get bombed in the back if you're looking at the screen on YouTube, or if you're listening to it. He's got a bomber plane behind him.
Oh, that's
Bomber
George's
Rick Guerrera.
George's gal. What an awesome plane that was, I'll tell you.
And we have the infamous Larry Ward.
Hello, everybody.
Way past when and current times, I am assuming. So, you know, we're blessed to have guest James Sopher he's going to talk about the Bug Infestation. So get your insect repellent out from Geneva, Ohio. Okay, Rick, enough comments on that. You like bugs now. And then we have Kurt Niemeyer. Did I get it right?
Yes.
You got it.
I got the name right.
Yeah.
Bellefontaine Hill Climb we're going to talk about, but you don't want to hit it up, Rick, first. You've been to a lot of car shows lately. Mm-hmm. And
yes, I have.
Give us kind of a rundown what's going on with that.
Hey, you know what? First of all, I want to apologize. I'm getting tired of apologizing to you, Greg. You know that. This is like on our car show at the Austin Town Park.
Yeah, whatever.
I went around. I told Greg. I said, I want to get everybody included here, all the workers and everything. You know, just to give a pat on the back, because that's what makes the car show go on. You're
lucky to be working here.
Anyway. So I got quite a few of the workers. I probably got 90% of the workers on video and everything, and then. Next thing I know, I didn't get Greg. Greg puts in most of the work for that show. He made that show a success, and I didn't get him I didn't interview him. I'm so sorry.
You know, I know how that goes, because, yep, I remember that. I'll remember that next time, you know, Rick.
I am so sorry. You know, you wouldn't believe how much work Greg puts into that show, and I didn't interview him. He was running around. I never seen him until the end. So
I don't think I saw myself till the end.
Yeah.
You know, we want to mention real quick that show is done, and it is on YouTube on the Armstrong Neighborhood channel. Check out the Street Scene Car Custom Bike Show 2022. It's an hour and 22 minutes. So it's a long show. Sit down. Get your drinks, whether it be alcoholic or non-alcoholic, some popcorn, some whatever you want, and sit down and enjoy that show, because, like I said, Rick, Krista, Larry, everybody's put a lot of effort into that show, and it turned out really good. So
if you watch the show, look at the smile on my face. I had such a good time at that show. It was so much fun just to interview everybody and everybody coming to our show that Greg put all the time into.
Well, you know what's going to be nice is when we get to Christmas and you guys start running around the clock, you know, repeats of the shows, and that we'll have a lot of really good shows for people to kind of sit back. I know I always text Greg and go, man, I'm so glad you're doing this. It really looks good. And it's kind of nice, breaks up the everything that's going on, you know.
What Larry's talking about is December. We don't concentrate on the Armstrong Neighborhood channel in the Mahoning Valley. We don't concentrate on the Christmas stuff. It is Street Scene month for Christmas. So as soon as December 1st hits, we're starting to run all this year's episode of Street Scene back to back to back.
14 years.
Yep. We have 10. Well, no, we have 14 years of shows.
14 years. Yeah.
14 years of shows that we're running. And there's probably way over 100 and some shows. So we're running those all December for Christmas. You're locked in the house. It's usually snowing and it's cold and it sucks. So you're going to be
Just don't watch the first 5 years of me. That's all. It was horrible. Not that I'm good now, but I was
going to say the first 14 years of you, especially the Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show this year. We shouldn't have watched you at all.
Yeah, tough crowd tonight.
I know. Yeah, see, Kurt's getting the hang of this here. Yeah. It's just a total complete roast session on the.
Yes, it is.
So in the big Christmas Street Scene broadcast, are you going to have Miracle on 34th Street? That'd make a great name for a car show.
Yeah, we should do that.
All we have to do is find 34th Street.
Well, we can always partner with Easy Street Productions and do Miracle on Easy Street, the car version.
Yeah,
there's something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, let me get into something here. A couple of weeks ago, I went to I went to the Hovis Auto Parts show over there in Grove City, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah. Forgot
And
about
that was pretty nice. That was a really nice one. But it was hot. It was a Saturday. It was a
Been
hot
hot
day.
all year.
On that blacktop. Oh my God! But they had some beautiful cars there. Beautiful cars. I fell in love with this one Chevy. I think it's a 35 Chevy. Oh God! I wish I could have taken that home.
Well, you're looking to buy one. You should have.
I'm taking
all that
my
money
time.
he got for that Thunderbird, he should have had enough to buy it.
I'm just taking my time. I'm not going to hurry into doing this.
Why don't you get a bug?
What?
A bug?
What? A bug? Oh my gosh! I'd never drive in one of those, right, Rick?
Yeah, but you can't be in the rapid tablets if you get a bug.
Shut up. We didn't mention names there, did we? I never mentioned that car club stain. And, now we lost a lot of listeners because.
Yeah.
Hey, on the 13th and the 14th, the Wings and Wheels was at the Youngstown Airport. I went to that on Saturday. It was another hot one, boy, at the tarmac.
On the black top, yep.
Hey, Rick, let me ask you. Wasn't it great when it was at Ernie Hall Field where you had like the hometown and people were pitching they get out of their airplane, then they'd set up camp and pitch their tent. You could walk over. It's just it's like the old time fly in. Now, I don't know, on the tarmac, we wouldn't be able to do anything,
Let's put a shout out. I want to real quick put a shout out of why it's not at Ernie Hall Museum is, our friend Bill Griffin passed away a couple of years ago, and he was really into the planes. Yeah. He owned Ernie Hall Museum, so
that's what's missing at Youngstown, though. That all those little planes flying in and out. And you didn't see that there. There was none there. There were some little planes there, but not like in Holland there.
Then the Newcastle show, they had the Wings and Wheels in Newcastle, PA, too. And I think that was this past weekend, too. I'm not sure, but I can't remember.
I missed that one.
Yeah, but go ahead, Rick.
I went to the Saturday show at the Wings and Wheels. It was a 2-day event, okay? And you can see that gunner ship behind me there. Oh, is that big?
Yeah,
awesome.
Check out the YouTube version of this if you're listening.
That was awesome, I'll tell you. And then the next day, I wanted to make it to the Mahoning Valley Old Car Club's show over at Boardman Park. And it's always a good show. They don't get tons of people, but they get some really respectable cars there. And it's just a nice low-key car show. I really enjoy the Mahoning Valley Club, and I try to go there every year to support them. And it was good. Got to see Mike Clem there. Remember Mike? Yep. Mike.
Oh yeah, Mike.
I haven't seen
Big
Mike.
Bug guy. Jim knows Mike Clem very well.
Oh yeah, we're hoping to have him out to judge and hang out with us. Always going to be a part of the team. Yeah, we're looking forward to him.
Hey, not only did I go to car shows the past couple of weeks, I took my girlfriend to the Canfield Dog Show.
There you go.
Okay. How you like that?
It's
I can't
fair,
bite on that one. I'm gonna leave that one off.
I've never been to a dog show, and she's never been to a dog show before. And it was really cool.
I thought you were setting this up.
It was like 5 days or something like that, and you got to get the hang of it, what they're doing. All these dogs come out at a certain time, a certain breed comes out one time, and then another breed comes out, and then they judge them. And we were there for a couple hours, and I was finally getting the hang of it. There's some beautiful dogs there.
I heard it was packed out there.
Yeah, I understand there was like 3,000 dogs or something like that. I'm not 100% sure.
That's a lot of, out there to clean up.
Bones, dog food.
But there are some beautiful dogs out there. If you're not a dog lover, I'll tell you, you go out there, you'll love your dogs. And
gotta love your dogs, and keep them off that hot blacktop, like me and Rick have touched on very many years. If that blacktop's hot and it's 120 degrees on that blacktop, put your bare feet on it and try to stand. That's what your dog's feeling. So we always say, keep your dogs off the hot blacktop. When you're
really, that's the worst. Yep. When I was up at the Hovis there, I had my tennis shoes on and everything. My feet were like bacon, and I'm like, oh my God, So, okay, let's go on.
Okay, Rick.
Take her away.
You know what? We're gonna start off, Larry. We've welcomed Kurt here, and you know what? you brought Kurt into our realm here and probably ruined his brain by listening to all these roast sessions we've had already. But Larry, get down to Kurt and why he's here today.
Where you at, Kurt? Anyway, where you from?
I'm from east of Cincinnati. I'm in Southwest Ohio, about 35 miles east of Cincinnati.
Okay, I just wanted to place you, see where you're from. Yeah. Larry gets guests
and then I put on an event that's 100 miles away, just to make it easier.
Okay.
Well, I thought we'd have a little bit of a departure from what I normally do, which is the motorcycle portion of the event and of the show. And I thought we would do something a little bit different. This event's been going on for a while now. I was looking forward to going this year, but with some of the issues I've got with my back now, I think it's probably not a good thing to do. But I'm going to try and get down there and see and kind of record some of the events, stuff like that. But I'm welcoming to the Armstrong Street Scene Power Hour, Kurt Niemeyer. Is that correct?
That's correct. Okay. Thanks for having me.
Two out of two.
Not a lot of people let me onto their broadcasts, or at least those that know.
Should we know why?
Pleasure, our pleasure.
No, that's classified information.
Oh, maybe they. Never mind. I'm just going to talk about rating and all that, but we won't get into that.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, and Kurt, why don't we take our listeners and our viewers back to the original Bellefontaine Hill Climb. First of all, let's start off with where is Bellefontaine, Ohio, and why is that chosen for a hill climb? And then after we talk a little bit about how the event was back in the 60s and 70s, and maybe what stopped it, and then what brought it back on. So we'll go through the whole thing. So why don't you start off with telling us a little bit about Bellefontaine, Ohio, and what the event was like back in the 70s.
Oh, okay. Bellefontaine was what the French trappers called it back in the early 1700s, and everybody that lives there now calls it Bellefontaine. And it's much more Americanized. But Bellefontaine, in just on the northwest corner of Bellefontaine, is Mount Campbell, which is the highest point above sea level in Ohio. And in the late 40s and early 50s, the Ohio Valley region of the Sports Car Club of America, SCCA, formed, and they put on a number of different events. There's our friend Bill Myers.
I'm gonna whip through. I'm gonna whip. You sent a ton of pictures. And if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're on any streaming services, listen to the podcast, tune into YouTube. You can see the pictures. I'm gonna whip through a lot of these while you're talking.
Oh, yeah, you're talking here like an old. What's that? A 5960 Porsche, maybe?
I think that's a 356A coupe. So it's prior to 1959.
Yep.
And Bill's done a marvelous job, and he also designed our logo. And so
that particular car, Kurt, is very sought after and extremely expensive now. I was looking. I followed this guy on YouTube that built and rebuilt a bunch of VWs and took a Bug and restored it completely from day one. And very interesting. He never spoke during the videos. He just showed you what he was doing. And he bought one of those, and it was kind of really mashed up. It was rolled over. So he had to straighten the hood, straighten a lot of things, but he rebuilt the whole thing. But I was shocked at what he paid for it, wrecked up like that. So they're very sought after.
Is that the style that James Dean died in?
No.
Convertible. This was a convertible.
That's the style that James Dean raced before he bought his Spider.
Okay.
And he had the convertible version called the Speedster. And very fascinating car. And he learned how to race in that. Then he went and he bought the 550 Spider, which was a lot faster and had the 4-cam engine in it. And so
low profile.
Right. And those cars are now extremely soft.
Through the roof. Yeah.
Only Greg can afford those now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's what I did with I did that with your 401k, Larry. I just took it from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kurt. Keep going on about the Hill climb.
Okay, so this was an SCCA event. They moved it to Bellefontaine to celebrate the fact that Mount Campbell was there, and it's the highest point above sea level. And where it runs is from the bottom of the Mad River Valley to the top of the ridge, and it's a very steep climb. You gain about 400 feet elevation in 7/10 of a mile. And
Yum.
so it was one of the steepest hill climbs in America. And the SCCA used it as part of their national championship. And so in 1956, gentleman from Columbus won the national championship, and part of his journey to get there was the Bellefontaine Hill Climb. And he, in fact, he raced that in a Porsche 550 Spider, just like James Dean was so unfortunate in. And Roger Penske came there when he was a college student living in Cleveland. He brought an airbox Corvette and raced it. He finished second in his class to a gentleman that worked at Wright Pat Air Force Base, who was in the Air Force. He also had an airbox Corvette. So anyway, an interesting mix of cars and people came through Bellefontaine, and it was a very popular event. It eventually transitioned to the Western Ohio region of the SCCA, and they ran it through the late 50s, 60s, and into the 70s. And we have a lot of support from the people in Western Ohio region that were there during the hill climb. A gentleman named Mike Edgerton, a fellow named Barry Prosser, Phil Noble, just a lot of them that worked on the hill climb and were administrators at the hill climb back in the 50s and 60s and 70s. They still contribute quite a bit, and some of them are able to attend. So.
Is this like the Pikes Peak rally?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just not 14 miles long like Pikes Peak.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? 14 miles? Wow.
Yeah. I think Pikes Peak is something like 14 miles. I drove a tour bus up there a couple of times. By the time you get to the top, you're huffing and puffing. So
yeah, there's no wind, no air.
Think how your car feels by the time it gets up there.
Yeah.
Right.
Those old carbureted
That's
cars
why we do this
yeah.
in Ohio, so we have thick air. And the car that's on the screen now, a white Porsche Speedster, that's an interesting story. That gentleman bought that car in 1960 off of a used car lot in San Antonio. It's actually a Speedster Carrera. Ooh. They made four in that configuration.
And a used car lot. Jeez.
They probably paid a couple $100 for it.
Yeah, he didn't quite get it that cheap, but he would have liked it. And he went to driver's school at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in that car in 1962. And a week later went to the Bellefontaine Hill Climb and won his class.
Jeez.
Wow. He was our grand marshal when we revived the event in 2019. And last year, he won his class for the second time, 59 years after he won his class the inaugural time. Same car, same driver suit. And if you look carefully, he's wearing the same helmet that he wore in 1962. So
he doesn't like change, does he?
Wow.
Yeah, just in his pocket. And
how old is this guy? About 80 years old.
He's 87 years old.
Oh, man.
He is an expert in 356s, and his license plate is the 356 MD. So, because everybody calls it the 356.
But how long is the course? When you're tell us about the total elevation and the length of the course.
Yeah, the hill itself from start to finish is about 3/4 of a mile. And then we go out through the countryside for another 4 miles to get back to the bottom of the hill. And that way we never have to turn a car around. We don't have to have anybody backing up. And the neighbors out throughout Logan County and on the township roads, they gather at the end of their driveways and they tailgate as we drive by. And we put 60 to 70 cars and 5 runs per car. So it's a pretty nifty rolling car show. And
do you keep track of records per class?
Yes. We classify all the cars by displacement and modifications. So if you have a stock car that's running a 2-liter engine, you're in the 2-liter production class. If you've modified your car, you're in a 2-liter modified class. And we prefer cars that were built before 1974 or continuations thereof, such as like all MGs and Triumphs, Alfa Romeos up to 1994, and some cars never change. So we invite them, and then we allow some newer cars in that fit the spirit. And we aren't really super competitive. We're not like Pikes Peak or
right.
Well, that 3/4 mile just sounds just right, because you're not up there running your car right to the edge of extinction trying to overheat it. And 3/4 mile, it's gonna be a little workout for your car going up that way, but you're not gonna kill it.
Right.
I can't imagine going up Pikes Peak 14 miles. If I was really getting on the car going up the hill, I wouldn't make it. There's no way.
Yeah.
When you look at your cars that have been there, especially the vintage ones, 74 and earlier, what were some of the best performing cars as far as elapsed time getting up the hill?
Well, our fast time of the day up the hill was a Yanko Stinger, which was a Corvair modified by Don Yanko over in Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania. Many people are familiar with the Yanko Novas, the
Yanko Chevelle, heck yeah.
And
but you know what? He built a couple of those, and I read up on that Corvair, that model and what they had done to it, and they were like independent, the newer ones, 65 and newer, independent rear suspension, so you could really, unlike a solid axle, you could really make them perform. And just some of the modifications that they did, it was just fun to read up on it. And I'm not surprised that that's one of the better handling cars. That's like a Porsche. It's just, the Corvair with the independent stuff.
Yeah, they really got their raw deal there in the late 60s, when they got,
they were fascinating little cars.
Yeah.
And
there you go. I'm going to stop the picture.
Yeah, there you go, James.
Yeah, Jim. That's
super nice.
He may be at your infestation. That's a gentleman named Ted Zombach, and that's a
57, isn't it? 56 or 57? Anyway.
Yeah. So we like every type of car. This is an MGTD, but MGs, of course, dominated in the 50s. There were so many of them there. And one of the photographs we use quite a bit is an airborne MGTD.
Okay.
Now, how he ever got that airborne, I don't know. But the fellow driving it was the gentleman that started Dayton Wire Wheels, which then was sold to Jim Shart, who drove the Yanko Stinger and was fast time of the day. And a few years ago, and he'll be back this year. So he's entered. We do get a lot of support from other car clubs, the Buckeye Triumphs, the Greater Cincinnati British Car Club, the MGT Register, the Ohio chapter of the Ferrari Club of America, Ohio Valley Region Porsche Club. And so we try to get all the car clubs to come out, and some of them man positions within the event. The Ferrari Club takes care of our grid and start box, and the Buckeye Triumphs are course marshals. So we try to build the community that way, because it's not our event; it's everybody else's event. It's there for the Triumph Club and the Ferrari
All
Club
right.
and the Porsche Club, the Dreistatten group of Porsche 356 enthusiasts. They're always coming out in force and helping out.
I'll hold that.
Classes.
Yep. Yeah, hold that thought, Kurt.
Okay.
What we're gonna do, we got the basis down, but I think Jim's feeling a little bit ignored here.
Well, we showed that VW.
We're gonna get back to Kurt here in a minute.
There.
Speaking of hill
No
climbs,
Volkswagens.
let's touch on the bug infestation. Going up a hill in a Volkswagen with a stock 36 or even a 40 horse is a little challenging at times. And let's talk about the bug infestation is in Geneva, Ohio, and give us some insight on that, Jim.
Bug Infestation is a all German mark show. So as the Mr. Hold on, I want to say his name right. Niemeyer.
Niemeyer.
Okay,
Niemeyer,
Mr.
yep.
Niemeyer was talking about. He showed quite a few beautiful German cars. Like we like all German cars. Like we just, if it's got a German build, if it was made in the fatherland, we want to see it.
I could put my BMW up there. I could bring my BMW up there. Oh, jeez, that's great.
Yes,
That's great. Somebody might appreciate it.
Because
here we go.
Not everybody loves a Volkswagen, but everybody loves a Porsche, a BMW,
Not everybody.
Rick, hold on just a second, Jim. Rick, zip your lips for 1 second. Oh, not everybody likes a bug. We know that, Rick. Go ahead, Jim.
Well,
Rick's not even here.
I don't even mind. I actually prefer when people don't like something because it shows they have good taste. They know what they don't like. So you don't have to fake.
I really like Volkswagens, though.
Yeah.
But they're infectious. Like, people who love Volkswagens, it is what it is. That's our commonality. That's what got me into the scene. I've probably been doing this, for a long time, like a really long time. Like even when I was a kid, my uncle had a Rabbit, and he decided to put 10 headlights in it, and a fur liner, and switches, and all 10 headlights worked in an early Rabbit. So I've been hooked up.
Where did he have room for them?
It's funny. He works for he's worked for the Middlefield Cheese House since he was 15, and he still works there to this day. So his disposable income has been really good. So when he was younger, he loved Volkswagens. He built a Rabbit, and it was fur lined, and it just got us hooked on Volkswagens, from dune buggies to everything, buses, you name it, Carmen Gias. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long, long time. But getting back to the show, it's an all German mark show. The headline this year is an 80s theme, and we have a really cool custom car on the flyer. It's actually a 63 Beetle that was actually featured in Hot VWs and VW Trends about 3 or 4 times. The latest one is in April 2020 when they said the 80s are back. And it just has that classic look and style. The owner's name is Bob Daniels. He actually runs a Facebook group called Custom Cars of the 80s and 90s. He happens to be a photographer for Hot VWs magazine. And we kind of met up, talked, and he actually designed this flyer for us. So we're like super excited. This is actually his car. The big spoiler alert, if anybody watches this podcast, is he's actually going to be bringing that very car to the show.
I remember seeing that car.
Super exciting. Yeah, it's super exciting. Like, it's beautiful. It's actually more breathtaking in person. So we're excited to have him, represent the 80s. We're going to have 80s music, limbo contest, dressing the 80s, and just basically family fun.
Right up my alley. Looks like I'm definitely coming.
I could do the limbo. Yeah.
Well, those are for cars.
I might not get back up though.
Your floor might be too tall or too stout to drop down low.
We'll get Larry doing a limbo with his back right now.
We want Larry all in one piece. Larry showed up last year, a few mishaps, but we're super happy. And believe it or not, we owe Larry a T-shirt. So we've got him covered. We did one thing that we never thought was possible. We sold out of every T-shirt. So, it never happens at a car show. Like, it literally sold out because the response was overwhelming. And our goal instantly really is to take over Geneva On The Lake Labor Day weekend and turn it into the Sturgis of Volkswagen and German cars. I really love air-cooled cars. We love water-cooled cars. But, just to see it kind of flood the area, just like was it Thunder on the Strip, where you have all the bikers there. I would love to see Labor Day weekend turn into this big thing where we literally flood Geneva On The Lake with nothing but, Volkswagen.
That's a big weekend. That's a big weekend anyway up there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Labor Day
Oh, yeah.
weekend. Oh, that's a
but
huge
we just add
weekend.
something a little special to it. It's really neat to see that many varieties of cars, from kit cars, trikes, you name it, floating through the streets. Everybody's like, look at that, see that, the buses, the Vanagons. I could go on things, you name it. It's going to be at the show. So we're just all excited to hang out at the community
Where's
park.
the location at? Where's the location?
It's
In the park?
Geneva On The Lake Township Park. It's
The Township Park.
5045 Lake Road East, Geneva, Ohio 44041. If you check us out on Facebook or on Instagram at Bug Infestation Geneva, we're going to be giving a lot of updates, especially 10 days before the show. We're going to do a countdown and, releasing all of the beautiful raffle prizes and stuff like that. It's a great weekend. It's a great show. It's just that Saturday. So, we're just going to kidnap your Saturday.
Are you on Facebook? You on
Yes,
Facebook with it? Oh,
Yes,
yeah?
sir.
Okay, I have to look you up there. I kind of like.
Geneva.
I might kind of like the show now since you're going to let BMWs in there. I'll get my C4 in there. Huh?
We always let every German mark. If you don't have a German car, you won't make it through. I've had guys with brand new Corvettes pull up and say, "Hey, I'd like to be in the show," and I was like, "Well, this isn't for you. Have a good day."
Larry.
It kills them. It literally kills them because it's a brand new Corvette. Why can't I get? No.
No.
There's a million other shows for that. Million other things. This is our day, our one day. Where if you have a German marked car, we want to see you. And it's really expensive too. Like expensive to get in.
Yep.
It's $1 a person.
Oh man, that's
Fuck. Oh, I can't.
Carlo, like gather your pennies together. We take EBT cards. We don't mind. We're just anybody come on in, pile in the car, and that fee is just a park in the park. Show your car. We're going to have a judged car show. We're going to have a top 3 in various categories and years, and just more or less family fun, raffle, 50-50, all the normal car show stuff.
Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do, Jim. If you're listening to this podcast and you're planning on entering your car into the show, Street Scene will pay for the first 20 people. I'm going to tell that. Street Scene will pay for the first 20 people. So it's $1 a person. If you mention, go up and mention.
We're rich.
Okay, let's put it that way. Street Scene's not rich by any means, but I think we can afford. I want to see people go up to the show. If you enter your German car and you mention this podcast, you get in.
Hold on now. Now I'm going to save you. I'm going to save you a little bit because if they enter their car, it's $5 for a carload.
Okay.
So
well, here's what I'm going to do.
You are flashing back to the 80s. Those are like
I know.
Here's what I'm going to, so, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to get the Volkswagen,
Yeah, well, we're going to do that. I'll fork over the $50. If it's $5 a car, the first 10 people then.
Done.
It's coming out of my pocket. I want people to come up.
Oh my God.
Yes, right now. So first 10 people that mention this podcast and they enter their car up in the Geneva show will get in.
We appreciate it.
What time's this thing start?
Okay, so the gates open at 9 a.m. Okay.
Okay.
But believe it or not, people are there.
Yeah, about 7.
I'll play this. Out in the park, it gets kind of wild. So technically it's 9. Everybody wants to get a spot because there's this long stretch where Lake Erie is your backdrop.
Yep, and it's
so it's going to be at least 2 or 3 rows. They're definitely just going to be with the lake view. It's beautiful. It's scenic. So there's always a rush to get in there early, but we really want people to enjoy the day. We'll get everybody in. We'll get festivities started. The music will be going. Believe it or not, we got Carter's Barbecue out of Cleveland. We'll be serving barbecue around lunchtime. We Anglers Concessions, K2 Kettle Corn,
Any beer?
Gyro. Well, no, this is still family fun. And
Okay.
there's a brewery next door to us.
Okay.
Like on the lake. Like you just walk down, enjoy.
Like perfect place.
Yeah. Anything you want. Adult beverage is so available with a stone's throw. Like you won't even have to walk.
Let's put it this way. I was just up in Geneva. I was on vacation last week. I was just up there. We went up, me and my wife and my youngest son went up just to enjoy Geneva. And we went to the park. And if you even go up there just to get a photo of your car by the lake is worth it.
It's worth it.
It is gorgeous. I mean, you can't beat it.
At the end of the show, most people clear out. So they have almost like a procession where they literally stop, drive up, stop, take a picture by the lake. We always ask that everybody tags us in it so that, we can see it on Instagram or other people can see it. We're going to have photographers there, not for that, but just to cover the event. Possibly a drone video might be shot. We got some things in the works. Things are going to be covered for 2 major magazines, but, we're still working out those details. And we're excited to get back at it again with just a fresh take and just to have fun. Like if you're not having fun, that's why it's $1 a person. That's why it's $5 a carload. What I want you to do is buy a t-shirt. Here's t-shirt is ridiculous. It's $20 a shirt. I won't even tell you what the design is, but if you don't like it, you just don't have a heart or soul. You just don't.
Is it 80s themed as well?
It's 80s themed. It's bright. It's
you gotta like it.
T-shirt. Yeah, if you don't like the soul, you just don't love life. But we're trying to keep even that cheap because we want as much out there of having a good time. Because you know what? No matter what I do, no matter where I go, if I'm not having a good time, why am I doing it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Say one more time what the date it is.
Oh, it's September 3rd, Labor Day weekend, 2022. And come on up.
Let me just jump in for a second, if I could, because I went up there last year. It took me a long time to get there. I think I broke down 3 times, but I eventually figured it out. But I had a blast up there. There was and then as with all types of cars, like when you walk around at a car show, you're going to look at cars similar to yours or maybe your type of car and see what kind of mods the guy did, what changes he made. Same thing with the VWs and the buses. You cannot believe that some of the ideas and the concepts that some of the owners have come up with. And I'm going to encourage everybody to go up there. It is a blast. It's right on the lake, and you're right in this big open area that's kind of fenced in, but it's nice, and I have really enjoyed it, and I'm going back this year.
Oh, we look forward. We owe you a T-shirt, so we got you covered. So okay. Got you covered. Don't even worry.
Well, I guess if my son can't go, maybe I'll have another driver so I can take both of my cars for the first time ever somewhere. So.
Yeah, if he can't go, I'll drive it up.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
just bring the tow rope.
No, I don't want to hear that.
You never know in those old cars.
You know what? I bought that and I didn't know anything about these. So I'm just humming along and I'm like, I got that little rat fink sitting on the seat. I got my Vans shoes on. I'm looking good, man. I'm thinking, hey, this is gonna be fun. Woo, and then all of a sudden I hear and I'm looking, I'm like, oh shit, I'm like 50 miles away. Yeah. So then I don't know, but I figured out what the problems were eventually and got lucky and sold it. So
did you take 11 up? It's really easy to get up to Geneva.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much straight shot. You can take the back roads.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
The back roads are a lot prettier. Yeah.
Yeah, you could take 534. It's really a good road to go up that way. You know, and
if you take 11 up, it's crazy with all those.
Well, here's the reason why. If you take 11 up, that way you can call the tow truck and you can give them a pretty good idea where you're at.
Well, last time I took my Bug on the highway was I was coming down from a car show going down to Pittsburgh, and I was on the interstate, and I spun a bearing in the motor. I vowed never to take that Bug on the highway again, so it will be back roads for me.
I was on that highway, my Harley, And we're going 80 miles an hour, Beth and my girlfriend and I, and those semis are right next to you. And you're hanging on for dear life. Oh, God. I said, next time I'm taking the back roads. Much better.
As a sidebar, I did something really crazy on vacation. I love dune buggies. Okay. I have several of them. So when I was on this cruise in Mexico, I actually went to Quintana Roo and actually went on a buggy expedition where I was driving a dune buggy through the streets and, through to visit the penguin. The flamingos. My brain is melting. Flamingos, saltfish, the Mayan ruins. But the cool thing was to drive that air-cooled buggy through the streets, around the city, air-cooled, it was just nothing beat it. So I'm super excited about seeing some dune buggies. And I wish I could bring mine, but it's kind of hard to run a show and bring your baby. So it is what it is.
I got, I want to, Jim, I want to say one thing and then we'll get back to Kurt here real quick.
Sure.
What I've been looking at is I never see any of the old kit cars that you can put on the, not just the dune buggy or the fiberglass bodies, but the fiberglass bodies that look like a Ferrari or any of those old type of like Bradley GTs.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one of those at a show forever, and that's what I want to see.
Well,
There's one on Marketplace right now, Lamborghini.
There's a red one on Marketplace that I've got my eye on, and I keep hounding my wife, and she will not let me buy it. I want it so bad, and it's I think it's in Maryland. But I want it, and she's like, "You've got too many cars already." I'm like, "Come on, just
there's no such
have to
thing.
build another garage."
She's been misinformed, Greg. There is no such thing as too many.
No, I know.
Really?
No.
There's a cap.
I get it.
There's a cap. I don't want to pop your bubble. Have you ever sat inside one?
No, I have not.
Okay. So, hold on. How can I say this delicately? The reason those cars are really not around is because either you have to be a really, really small guy, really young guy who doesn't mind laying on his back and looking through the windshield. You have to with like 914 seats where you're sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking cars. Believe me, I'm not knocking it. And I love seeing them because they're just a beautiful, small, lightweight, beautiful car. And they are out there.
Yeah.
You ask any Volkswagen guy, you go to any Volkswagen show, you will catch a body or two for sale. Yeah. The execution of those cars, just like Dune, but if they're not done, is a problem.
Yeah.
Because so many things and there's such a tight space and you have to know what you're doing. I'm not selling you against it.
Oh, I get it.
Buy one done. Buy one complete. Buy one drivable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Save yourself the drama. I would never tell you to buy a kit unless you're just that, you have that much time and you just have that much disposable income.
Yeah, the one I've been looking, get off the topic a little bit. The one I've been looking at, it's done. It's not running right now, but I'm like, oh, that's nothing. But everything's there.
Done. If you could sit inside of it and you're comfortable with what you see around you, get the car. And you'll be able to negotiate because the market is limited, especially when they're not running. You've got a great open, you've got a great in. I've seen some beautiful kit cars for sale. Yeah. The problem is if you don't have the know-how, they'll nickel and dime you. And you'll be mad to sell it off as a project again. I always try to tell people to buy the most done car they can get for the money and the well-running car you can get for the money.
Unless you really like to work on it and customize it the way you want it.
Unless that's
the point.
15 and I'm 50 and I'm not comfortable with everything that I do or that could be done. Plus we also have regular jobs. I mean, it is what it is. But I'd rather enjoy a done turnkey. Let's go. I'm to that point. I think my red bug was the last one I built. So I had to rebuild, tear it completely apart to get it done. But it's how you like.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jim. You're just wrapping up what your thought was, and I interrupted you. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I mean, I just think that half of the hobby is to actually enjoy the car. Like when you buy a car, you want to actually turn the key, hop in it, go get some ice cream, come back. You're thrilled. You like the people looking at it, but nobody looks at your project in the garage. Nobody.
No.
Right.
Except you. Except you, when you're sitting there going, "What did I do?"
Exactly.
What
Your
was
wife
I
walked in
thinking?
and goes, Again.
Yeah. Hey, Kurt, getting back to the hill climb, how do you get the awards out? I'm not familiar with the hill climb. So talk kind of in layman's terms for somebody like me that's really, it sounds so fun to do, but is it a time trial? Is it,
Yeah, it's a timed event, and it's similar to an autocross or a gymkhana. We send one car up the hill at a time, and the first couple of years of the revival, we actually used analog stopwatches, just like they did back in the 60s and 70s. But now we have a timing system, and we catalog the times. And then we have a post-race party at a historic theater in downtown Bellefontaine. Then we calculate the finishing positions, and then we give out awards. They have a lot of laughs and some good food and beverages of choice, and tell lies about how fast we were, or how we missed that shift, and that's what blew my third run. And otherwise, I would have pipped you, but instead, I've got the smaller trophy, and so there's a lot of that goes on, and it is a vintage car driving exhibition, so we don't key in on the competition as much. There are plenty of places to go and run competitive hill climbs. The Pennsylvania Hill Climb Association, they're just the king of the hill, to make a bad pun, but they have exactly. Wow. Almost painful for me. And anyway, and now the SCCA is getting back into hill climbs. They have one at Empire, Michigan, and one at Pikeville, Kentucky. And there you can go run a 4 to 7 mile course and up the side of a mountain and really get into it and the more competitive end. Our whole mission is to celebrate Ohio's rich sports car racing history. And there was just so much good stuff. You're located in the Mahoning Valley, and I'm trying to find where the SCCA Hill Climb was in the Mahoning Valley, because they had an event similar to Bellefontaine. There was also one at Milan, Ohio, over near Vermilion. And again, using the river valleys to the top of the ridge. And that way we can do it without the mountains.
So you're saying there was one here in the Mahoning Valley at one point?
Yeah.
Larry, did you ever hear of that one? The hill climb? No.
In the Mahoning Valley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motorcycles and East Palestine used to have the hill climbs.
We don't have any real. You'd have to go south, like to Zanesville, and then down below Zanesville to start getting into some hilly country. We have no hills. We don't even have hills here, right around here.
Yeah, Kurt said there was one in the Mahoning Valley. If anybody knows that, throw the Armstrong street scene at gmail.com an email, because we'd like to know if anybody knows any history on that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I'm sure it was either the Steel Cities region, SCCA, or the Mahoning Valley region that ran that. But I'd like to find out about it, because I like to catalog these places where the classic sports car activities took place. There were races at the Lockbourne Air Force Base in 1953 and 54 that drew 100,000 spectators.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
With that many people, some of them are still on the way home. There were no highways. I don't know how they got the people in and out, but that was part of the Air Force Base racing that went on. There was a race on South Bass Island called the Puddin Bay Road Races, and those were sanctioned by the Cleveland Sport Car Club, and they raced on the streets through Puddin Bay from 1953 to 1959.
In Puddin Bay. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
in fact, that was a really fast course, and was one of the fastest street courses in the country. And a friend of mine who lives in the Akron area, writes histories. He researched it and found out that there was a street race in eastern Pennsylvania that had a higher average speed than Puddin Bay, but Puddin Bay would have been the fastest in the country. And then there was even a race through the Miami County Fairgrounds in Fort Recovery in 1954. And and then the permanent track started getting built in the late 50s and early 60s for the safety aspect of it. You know, unfortunately, there were bad accidents at Watkins Glen and Torrey Pines.
Have you been to the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix?
Yes, I have. That, you know,
that's kind of a cool event. And then they run some of it through the streets, you know.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Grand Prix sticker.
Did you go this year, Greg?
No, my buddy went, but he sent me stickers just to rub it in my face. I couldn't go.
I heard it's
we all appreciate friends like that.
It's like one of those things where, you know, you went here and you only got me a stinking T-shirt. Oh, I got a sticker.
You got a sticker.
Give me a sticker.
Hey, Kurt.
Yeah.
Kurt, what's this event called? Where's it at? And is it on Facebook? And how can we get in touch with you about it?
Right. The event is called the Bellefontaine Hill Climb Revival.
Okay.
We have a page and a group on Facebook under those names, Bellefontaine Hill Climb Revival.
Okay.
Our website is vintagestreetseries.com because we also put on some other vintage car events around Southern Ohio and Western Ohio. And so
it's in Bellefontaine, Ohio. Bellefontaine, Ohio. Where's that near? That's near where? Outside of Cincinnati?
Midway between Columbus and Lima off of Route 33.
Okay.
In fact, we are adjacent to the Mad River Mountain Ski Resort. If anybody's a skier and has tried that, the mailing address is actually Zanesfield, Ohio.
Okay.
Not Zanesville, but Zanesfield. And
Zanesfield.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, crazy.
Okay.
And Zane guy got around. And anyway, but it's right along Route 33. And if you're looking at a map, you'll see an area called Valley High. And that's where they built the original ski resort back in the 60s. And so the ski resort still operates. And we're just at the far east end of it. And it's a public road, County Road 28 in Logan County, Ohio. And we have great cooperation from the Logan County Engineers Office. They put up barricades for us. And the Logan County Sheriffs come out. And these people, it says protect and serve on their vehicles. And they really do protect and serve. And they've been with us since we started the revival. And really friendly. We let the sheriff's deputy take the first run up the hill and the last run up the hill. And
but that's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. The first year I had run my car and I was parked at the top of the hill, and I didn't realize that we were ending, and I hear siren coming up the hill, and I'm going, what happened?
I do.
I take 10 minutes off as event chairman to run my car up the hill. Yeah. And now, we've got an incident. Well, it was one of the deputies, and he made the last run up the hill to close the course. And last year, the same deputy made the last run up the hill, got to the top, and he said, "Hey, I hit a cone on the way up. Can I get a rerun?" I've been to some autocross.
It's probably rare that they get to have that much fun. It's like, okay, I'm actually allowed to get on this car and go right up the hill, and nobody's going to say anything to me.
And that's why we're there. We're there to have a good time with old cars and old friends. And so we do allow some new cars in just to kind of pepper the show a little bit and show what would be running now. But
hey, Kurt, do you have to pre-register, or can you just show up?
Yes. Yes, we have online registration on motorsportsregistration.com. We have our volunteer registration there too. So you don't have a car, we invite you to come out and volunteer. You can be a course marshal, work in the start box, the finish line. We serve coffee and donuts. There's a church that hosts us for the day, and that's our paddock parking area, and they come out and for those of us that, maybe have a little bit too much stress during the day, they actually have a playground there. I've been spotted on the swing set a couple of times.
Well, what was the date on this, Kurt? I missed the date.
It's August 27th, Saturday,
it's coming up
August
right around the corner.
10 days from when we're recording this.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
it happens how many is this an annual event?
It's an annual event, and we always have it on the last Saturday in August.
Okay.
And we've established that as our date with the county, and the county is one of our biggest supporters. Logan County Tourism and the Bellefontaine Chamber of Commerce have just been, I can't say enough about them. People in Logan County are very friendly, and they're very motorsports oriented. We just went to a hot summer nights car show in Bellefontaine last weekend.
I heard that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's mammoth.
Yeah.
So anyway, as I also like the car shows. Along with the racing endeavors, I'm a concours judge at the Hilton Head Concours, and work with the Cincinnati Concours. And so I like the shows. I'm a German car aficionado. I'm out searching. Yeah, James, I'm looking for a board ward Isabella, and now I know I have a place to take it when I find it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stop and pick up Rick on the way.
Is that a German car, Isabella?
Yes, the board wards were luxurious German cars with a very funny name.
I was just gonna ask that question. I asked this of our guests: is Kurt dream car? What is it? Is that it?
Oh no. I'm a guy. I love the small stuff. I've got some Alfa Romeos and a Morgan, and but every podcast host asked me this, and my dream car is a Crosley Hotshot.
No kidding!
Wow,
it's way more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow.
All right, Jim. I didn't know if I asked you last time, but you got to have a dream car as well.
Believe it or not, I actually own one of them. I have a Myers-Manx, a 64.
And a real Myers-Manx body?
Pre-tag, yeah.
Oh, very neat.
Well, baby. But the dream car, believe it or not, is a 550 Spider. I probably have to modify it because I'm a big boy.
Yeah,
but I'm already like aiming. I'm already aiming.
Those are actually pretty spacious, and
yeah.
With the Beck Spiders on the market, I've actually seen those at actual real people prices.
Oh yeah. But still, they're creeping up. Like there's nothing cheap.
Not anymore.
No, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Nothing's cheap anymore. Yeah.
No.
So, Greg, what is your dream car?
Well, I'm surprised anybody asked that, Rick, because you wouldn't. You never interview me. You're never going to live that down. Like I said, I've got my bugs, so I've got those. But of all things, I've always wanted a 67 Chevelle Super Sport. Got to have a 4-speed in it.
Yes.
And of all things, and there's another one. It's a 70 Javelin. I want one so bad.
Oh, really? Hold on, like Starsky and Hutch, or
no. That was a Gran Torino. Javelin is AMC. So they're creeped up in price. I should have bought one years ago when I had the chance.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last thing, Kurt. Date and time of your show. We're running out of time. Date and time and how do you get there?
Okay, run that by me again.
The date and time of the show, and where's it at?
August 27th, Saturday. We start up at First Cars Up the Hill at 9 a.m. And it's at the corner of County Road 28 and County Road 153 in Zanesfield, Ohio, which is the Valley High exit off of Route 33, northwest of Columbus. So if we're just west of Marysville.
Okay.
And so we'd love to have everybody come out. We do have a dedicated spectator area. We welcome everybody. We have VIP rides available for a donation to our charity, the Logan County History Center. And we'll put you in a Lotus Europa or a Jaguar or a car of your choice and run you up the hill and around the course.
Nice. Jim.
Super nice.
Jim,
Yes.
date and time of the show.
September 3rd, Labor Day weekend, Saturday. It's at the Geneva On The Lake, Township Park, 5045 Lake Road East, Geneva, Ohio, 44041. And check us out on Facebook, Instagram. And we hope to see you there.
All right. And we're going to wrap up the show real quick. Larry and Rick, we're going to wrap it up. First, we'll start with Larry. Any closing comments, and then we'll get to Rick.
Well, I think as we get to the end of August and go through September, I think there's a ton of motorcycle and car events that everybody, especially family-oriented kind of things, to go and see. If you got a shot at going out to see the hill climb at Bellefontaine, I finally got that right, Bellefontaine.
Yeah.
I'd certainly encourage. That's a great weekend. Take the family down, make it a nice, stay in a hotel that's got a pool because the kids will love that, and then go out and spectate and enjoy that. And then, of course, with the VW stuff coming up September 3rd, that's an awesome time as well.
All right. And Rick, you got some stuff to touch on.
If you're listening to this show before Sunday, August 21st, Street Scene will be at Lake Milton, Ohio at the American Legion Post 737, an all Oldsmobile show. That's going to be interesting.
Our first one we've ever done of all Oldsmobile.
Yeah. I ran into those guys down at the Boardman Park, and I said, if I bring my Chevy down there, am I allowed in? Nope.
No
Chevy.
I'm bringing my work van because I'm not even going to
Mm-hmm.
bother bringing my Ford or my Chevy or Bugs or anything. Yep.
Okay, here's another good show before we sign off here. The Sunrise Inn in Warren. We were going to do that one year until I think COVID hit us. On August 27th, that's coming up here, that's Warren, Ohio. They pull in a lot of cars there, and if you get a chance to go into Sunrise, get that stuffed pizza. Oh, is it good? And the sauce. You got to get the sauce. Oh yeah, good food there. Hey, don't forget, Street Scene will be in Lordstown on September 25th. Okay, for the Hollywood Nights extravaganza. That's coming up. And we're going to end Street Scene Car Show, or Street Scene, with the Rust Belt Revival. That's going to be October the 9th in Youngstown, Ohio on Boardman Street. Yep. So that's always a cool show. And I think they're having a bike show too this year. I saw something with a bike show. I got to get some more info on that though.
Yeah, let me mention that we do have those 3 coming up for Street Scene. And we already recorded one that we are going to premiere during the Street Scene month of December. I'm not even going to tell you what it is because it's really cool. And it ties in with Jerry Dixie, if you know Jerry Dixie, with Street Rodder Magazine. So it ties in with him, but it's a really, really cool show. We'll have that done and we'll premiere that then. Want to thank you so much, Jim. And thanks, Kurt, for being guests on our show. And
thanks,
make sure you get up to the
guys.
Geneva, Ohio on September 3rd and August 27th. You want to get to Fontaine or Fountain, whatever you want to call it. For the hill
French
climb.
fries. Yeah.
Thank you, Kurt. Thank you, Jim.
For Larry Ward, Rick Guerrera, I'm Greg Roten.
We'll see you down the road.